Hey everybody, this is Ty Terrell with IFS University, and today I almost never do this. I almost never go away from talking about training because that's just not my strength. That's not what I'm passionate about. But Lance, one of our coaches, and you guys probably recognize him through IFS University. He sent me a podcast to listen to, and it was a podcast by I forget the guy's name, but he started LinkedIn. And he was hosting or interviewing the guys who started Airbnb. And I'm listening to this pod. I'm reluctant. I go a couple days without listening to it because, again, I'd rather read super training than listen to a podcast about the mentality of whatever. And that's just, that's just how I am. I'd rather dig in. But what I'm learning, and sometimes the hard way in this industry, is that content is great. Knowledge is great. You can really serve your clients, your members, whoever you're trying to help if you have a lot of knowledge. However, there is an emotional side, there's a mental side of things in our industry, and you have to find out what drives your client, what makes them tick, like what's important to them, what kind of product or service do they want from you. And so that when I listen to this podcast, basically I'll give you a little synopsis. Airbnb got started. These guys were broke, a lot of credit card debt, and like over $35,000. And so they went to meet with a startup investor. And at this time, the two guys that started Airbnb were living in LA, Silicon Valley actually. And the investor said, "Well, where are most of your clients? Where are most of your customers?" And they said, "Well, we're getting a lot of traction in New York City." And so the investor said, "Well, what are you doing in California?" And they kind of looked at him puzzling, and the investor said, "That's where your traction is. Go talk to your customers." And the Airbnb guys said, "I'm not going to go door to door. That's creepy. That's weird." But the investor said, "This is the only time that when your company is small or you're just getting started or whatever, this is the only time that you can individually talk to each one of your customers and find out what's important to them." And so that just made me kind of reflect on my own professional path and as we do things here at IFAST, and we always continue to try to grow and build a better membership base and a better community and a culture of empowerment and competitiveness and just growth. You always kind of ask yourself, how can I do this better? And being a semi-private facility, we have the opportunity to talk to and reach a lot of our clients and members. And so what this made me do is, it's really easy to think of things from our point of view. If it were me, this is how I would want things, or if it were me, this is what I would want. But you're not training you, you are not serving you. In our industry, because it is a service industry, we are serving a paying customer, a client, a member. We are serving other people. And in this case, for IFS University, we are serving other coaches, PTs, athletic trainers, professionals seeking to continue their education and grow and become better and better, and just like we are here at IFAST. And so one of my goals, or my big takeaway from that is I want to know what you guys want. And I was in a position where I was buying all the products, I was buying all the videos, and I still do a lot of that. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of what the customer, the coach wants, but you still don't know, because what works over here for business A in Indianapolis may not work for business B in Dallas, Texas. Different cultures, different environments, different customers, different wants and demands, and etc. And so that's what makes it hard. There's not like one right path to do that. So basically, all this rambling, all this talking is just an opening up and reflecting on film to you guys that I'm going to start actually physically going to my clients there and asking them, just inquire, hey, what would it take? What kind of training session or program would it take, or what kind of results would it take for you to go out and tell every single person that you know about what we do here? And I think that's a huge question. That was the number one takeaway from that podcast. If you are a professional and you work with clients, or you're a coach and you're trying to start a club or a team or whatever, you need to ask. I would ask from a customer's point of view, a client's point of view, or an athlete's point of view, what would it take to make them pay any amount of money for our service, or tell every single person they come in contact with about our service, or like go to their basketball team and say, listen, all 12 of us need to be training at IFAST. They need to be training here. What kind of session, what kind of programming, what kind of environment would it take for that to happen? And just a little kind of Dear Diary moment here, that's what I'm going to be working on for our athletic development program here in the next upcoming months. I want to know what our athlete wants. I want to know that better. And I want to know what it's going to take for them to go out and every single person they come in contact with, and their parents, what it's going to take for them to tell every single person they know and they come across and they talk to that they should be at IFAST as well. So that's my personal challenge to everybody that watches this video. Take a deeper look into what your clients actually want and chase it and talk to them. It's okay to ask them what they want, because they're going to be your best critics. They're going to give you your best feedback, and it's just an opportunity to grow and improve the way you do things. So this is Ty Terrell going off the beaten path, what I normally do with IFAST University, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.